Hello, my name is Joyce Melendez, and welcome to the Breaking Limitations channel. Today, I want to talk about values. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, I just want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe because we're going to have a lot of content for 2024 and you don't want to miss out. So, today, I want to talk about values. What exactly are values and why are they important? So, values are basically set of beliefs that motivate an individual to behave in a certain way. So it's important. Everybody has values, whether they know about it or not, and it's going to be determined by, you will know their values based on their behavior. So if you the most important thing is for you to really know what your values are. What is important to you? What do you believe that is the right way to live? It doesn't have to mean that whatever you believe in is the correct way. It just means that based on who you are, those values are very important. For example, if one of your values is honesty, you believe that you should be honest no matter what, you should be able to tell people things honestly, then that is a set of values that some people might not think that you need to be honest in every situation, and they can explain why that is so. But for you, if honesty is one of your strong values that you live by, then that's one of your core values. And so it's important for you to know your core values. And when I do my classes, I normally tell people that you need to have at least 5 core values that govern your life. So I don't encourage you to have like 10 or 15 because that's just too many and you won't really be able to follow up, or you really won't be able to live by those values. But you need to have some core values that are really important to you, between 5 to 7. Once you label those core values, when it comes to different situations in life, or even how to even when it comes to relationships, who you should connect with, whether it's in relationships to do with romantic relationships, or whether it's having business partnership or ministry or things like that, it's important to know what people's core value is, because just because someone is gifted or just because someone is anointed does not really mean that they have the same core values as you. And this is important because I've been doing a series on talking about divorce and effects of divorce and transitions and different things like that. And one of the things that I find, even when I have my classes, is a lot of people don't have core values that govern them. And so they get caught up in with emotions. They get caught up with, oh, I'm in love, but they and there's nothing wrong with being in love. It's just that once part beyond the love, what kind of core values does this person live by? Because if they live by different core values than yours, then you are going to eventually clash. You eventually find yourselves, that's how you find people say that we have irreconcilable differences. That's a long word. Because sometimes it's just a matter of core values. You might find one person wants to, and I'll just make it very basic, maybe one person, their core value is to travel the world. They just want to be able to see the world, to travel and just see the world. And then they get married to someone whose core value is like, they just like to stay at home and they just want to have the peace to enjoy the home. And so those two people, they love each other, and they might but eventually they might find themselves clashing because one person's core value, which is their deep desire that they live by, is to be able to travel and see the world, and they're willing to sacrifice everything. Maybe they don't want to live in a big house, they just want to live in a little house where they'll just be able to maintain, so that they can spend most of their money traveling the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do that. But unfortunately, if you connect with someone who you love, but their desire is to just be, like, let's say, to be in the city, to have this big mansion, to look to them, that's what they desire to have. Maybe that's something they've always wanted since childhood. And so you might find yourselves clashing, because this one person might want to live in this posh neighborhood with a big house because that was something they've always desired to have. But then you might not want to do that because your desire is just to live in something small that you can maintain so that the rest of the money you can use it to travel the world. So it's important to know what your core values are, and then it's important to once you know what your core values are, when you're connecting with people, especially when it comes to relationships that are going to be long term, such as romantic relationships or such as business partnerships or ministry partnerships and things like that, it's important to know what people's core values are so that you don't find yourself down the line having to go separate ways because you have different core values. Because a lot of people, sometimes you have the same idea, you're like, yeah, let's start this company, let's do this, let's do that, but in the middle of the partnership you find that your business partner has totally different core values. Maybe they don't value to follow certain rules the way you do, and that can bring conflict, and before you know it, that you have to go separate ways, you have to go through litigation to so that you can be able to come out of this agreement that you had at the beginning. So once you know what your core values are, then you'll be able to make better decisions, and you'll be able to connect with people who match your core values so that you can avoid having a lot of confusion later down the line, or to have a lot of disagreements and all that. So I want to go ahead and also encourage you, if you haven't signed up for the upcoming class that's called Before You Call It Quits, I want to encourage you to go ahead and sign. The link is at the bottom, and the reason I want to encourage you to sign up for this class is because you're going to get a lot of tips on how to make the art of decision making. You're also going to learn about the emotional turbulence that comes with making major decisions, and then also the you'll also learn the importance of knowing what your core values are and how to identify what your core values are, and many more. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and sign up, and if you know anyone who will need this information, please go ahead and share it with them. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss any content that we're going to have later during the year. So guys, thank you so much. It was so good to have you all, and thank you.